What's going on, everyone? I've been getting a lot of questions about my race plan for Galveston 70.3. It is Monday today and we are only 6 days away from the race, so I just kind of want to go over my race plan, what I think I'm going to do during the race, how I think I'm going to feel for the race, because this is going to be my 5th Ironman event. So I'm just going to try to run you through my times for my swim, bike, and my run, and just show to you how I'm kind of looking at it, because I know that when I was first starting out racing and training, I didn't know what to expect during the race, and hopefully this video just helps you with your races coming up, whether it be in triathlon, running, CrossFit, bodybuilding, whatever you do, or if you're not into any. Hopefully this will help you out, because I know it definitely has helped me out by looking at races before you actually do them, so that you're more comfortable when you're actually racing. I used to do this a lot in hockey when I was playing in Calgary. I would visualize myself going through the game when the actual game happens, because if you visualize yourself going through the motions and doing stuff, you're going to be a lot more comfortable doing it, because it almost makes you feel like you've already done the race before. I already played the hockey game, I already did the swim, I already did the run, and I already did the bike. So just running you through it and visualizing and just writing things down on what to remember, what to think about during that time, it's helped me a lot, it helps a lot of people, and it really does work going through the race before you actually do it. So hopping into Ironman Galveston 70.3, is it a tough course? No. Is it hilly? No. Is it as hilly as Calgary, Penticton, or Victoria? No. It's a flat course, it's a fast course, and I just want to go as fast as I can on April 2nd to get a sub 4:30 race time, and this is how I'm going to do it. So for the swim, it's a saltwater swim, it's a wetsuit legal swim, and it is a fast swim. Last year it was my first time doing an Ironman, and I thought this swim was going to be a lot harder than it actually was. I didn't know that it was salt water, and I didn't know that you were just super buoyant with salt water plus a wetsuit, so that's why I did, I think, around a 38 swim. But this time I'm aiming for a 1:30 to 1:35 pace for the swim, so around a 28-minute to a 31-minute swim. Like the low range and the high range, I'm just gonna run through the lowest range and the high range for swim, bike, and run, and then my total time at the end. I was just swimming in a wetsuit this past week, just in a pool, and I was doing 125s to 130s, just kind of chilling in a wetsuit, and it wasn't salt water as well, so I don't think I'd have a tough time getting a sub 30-minute swim. In Ironman Florida, it was around a 34-minute swim, and it was a bad swim for me. It was slow, I was just not good at it, and it was like an M shape, so you went out, 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 and that messed with me so much. But the Galveston track is just, you start here on a dock, you go up, you go out, and then you go back. So it's super simple. I think the swim is definitely something that you could take advantage of by doing it well and just really conserving your energy. I want to be slow but fast. I think something in swimming that I've definitely learned a lot of is you want to be the fastest you can by expending the least amount of energy. You can really sink your energy so much in swimming, especially if you kick too much, if you're not buoyant, if your center of gravity is too low, if your legs are just dragging along rather than propelling you forward. I think that's really good to conserve all your energy on the swim heading into the bike. And the bike, I'm aiming for 235 to 250 watts, and that time will be 2 hours 15 minutes to around 2 hours and 25 minutes. This course it's pretty much a straight and back. So you have about 5 to 10 minutes to get to the highway, and then you go out, and then you go back, and then back in. But The only bad thing about this course is that there's a ton of wind, so when you're going out to the halfway mark, you're either getting pushed by the wind, it's either a crosswind, or it's right in your face. And on the way back, it could be completely different. It could be the same if the wind switches or anything. So you just kind of have to be conservative with your energy on the bike, especially if the wind's at your back when you're going out. I think I'm gonna save energy and not push crazy watts going out, because I will have to push harder coming back in, because it'll just be harder with the wind. And for the bike, I think the number one thing for me is to dial my nutrition in and really focus on getting all the salt and all the carbs and all the gels in at the specific times, at the 15-minute increments with the salts and gels, just because I don't sit well with running and eating. So I have to fuel myself on the bike so I'm good for the run. And I just really want to focus on just pushing the watts, being okay with the watts I'm pushing, and not comparing myself to the other people on the bike, because I am competitive. I'm super competitive. When someone's ripping by me, I want to push more watts. I want to be ahead of them, but I have to be smart and know what I'm pushing, because it's a race against myself. It's not a race against this person. I mean, it is, but if you look at it like that, you don't know how fast a run is. I think I'm gonna have a fast run. So maybe they're pushing and making up for a crappy run on the bike. So especially on the bike, just push your watts, have your goal in mind, the 235 to the 250 watts, and just continue to push those. And as well, I think I will be really fast on the bike, because my bike in Florida was a 227, and it wasn't hilly. I'd say it was more rolling. On the Ironman website, it says it's flat, but it is not flat. And there was a lot of wind. A lot of the track of Florida was bumpy and rumbly. So I think this bike, it's super flat. I have the wind. I have a lot of things in my power that I didn't have in Florida. And last year, I got a new bike. I got a new setup. And I'm just really excited to push these watts and see how fast I can go. I wouldn't doubt if I do a 220 bike, but I just don't want to. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt if I do a 220 bike, but off the bike into the run, I want to save some stuff I have for the run, but as well push my bike as fast as I can, but also leave some stuff for the run. That's what happens in these 70.3s. It's in between it's in between a sprint, Olympic, and then a full, because the 70.3 is, you can push a lot of stuff and you can push really hard, but you have to still save some stuff in the tank. Rather than the full Ironman, you kind of have to save everything. You have to treat it as like an ultra race. And then for a sprint, it's going all out. So the 70.3 is one that I really like, because you can still race it, you can still go really hard, but then you also have to save some stuff. Rather than the full, it's just like you have to save stuff the whole time for your energy. But for the run, I'm aiming for a 6:30 to 6:40 pace, which will put me at an hour 25 to an hour 29-ish. My Ironman Florida was a 1:34, and I felt like I didn't have the best run I could have. And there is 2 big hills on the Florida course, but then this one, it's pretty flat, and I'm really familiar with it. But the only thing is, I could kind of see how that could slow me down, is there's a crap ton of turns. There's 2 laps, and it's like you're turning pretty much the whole time. There's not a lot of straightaways, and I think that could hinder you going really fast, is just turning all the time. And then also getting enough sodium in. Last year at this course, I didn't get enough sodium in. I didn't even know what a salt tab was. I wasn't taking salt tabs, but now that I'm more familiar with it, I've been taking these the past year. I'm really comfortable with handling sodium on the run and the electrolytes on the run, and then trying to get gels in. I'll see how that is, but I'll aim for around 3 to 4 on the run, and then 1 before the swim, and then obviously like 3 to 4 an hour on the bike to get me prepped for the run. The run is definitely, I'd say either my bike or my run is my most strongest, just because like I feel like I have good watts on the bike, but then my run is getting better because I'm kind of more focusing on my lower body now, not touching a lot of my upper body, just because I mean getting bigger upper body isn't doing anything for me in the sport of Ironman. So for the overall race, if I do my fastest that I think I could do and everything goes well, it would be a 4:08. And then on the high end, it would be a 4:24. I'm shooting for a sub 4:30, but then I put these numbers into the paces that I've been training with and the paces I think I can hit, and I know I can, that because I've been training on them. The low end is a 4:08. When I type that in, I'm like, no way, that's the numbers, but it is. That's a 28-minute swim, a 2:15 bike, and then a 1:25 run. So that if I get a sub 4:10, I'll be over the moon about that. And then on the high end, I think it'd be a 4:24, just because nothing goes right any race, especially in a one that's 4 hours plus. And I'll definitely have some bad points. I think on the bike I'll probably hit one, maybe on if there's wind, but then again, it's only a 2 hours and a bit ride. I'm used to riding for 3-4 hours on Saturday, and then on the run, I don't know if I'll hit a bad spot, but I'm just preparing myself for that because I didn't really have one in Florida, but I had a bad spot on the bike for a bit when I was just alone out there on like the cobblestone road. It was pretty bad. But yeah, that's my race plan for Galveston. I really want to do as fast as I can, especially with the first race of the year and this marking my 1-year anniversary with racing. Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun weekend. We're having a videographer come down to film Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. This is the same videographer that did my Florida race week. So she's coming down and she's helping out with a lot of that stuff. So I'm going to have a lot of content in this next week for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and moving forward into the next week where we're starting to prep for May 28th race, Victoria. But obviously we're just focused on this one today and this week because we're 6 days out. It is March 27th, and we just have to have fun this week, not focus and not get ourselves too hype, because that's what I always do before the race. I get too in my head, but now kind of distracting myself from the things that I'd be overthinking about the race, because it really is just a race. Like Jeff said in one of my other videos, the race is the reward. You get to show off what you've been doing, and I feel like my training has been very consistent. It's been very good every single day, especially with all the stuff that has gone on in my life. I feel like I've definitely kept up with the training, and it is a fun part of my life. I enjoy it, and I'm just going to know that I'm going to be enjoying this race. So yeah, if you have any questions, DM me on Instagram, comment on this video, and we're giving away one Hacks hat this week on the Sunday videos. So yeah, if you want to win a hat, comment 200k subs in 2023, which will enter you into one Hacks giveaway hat. We ordered a crap ton more, but they are limited. It's not like we have unlimited amounts. So yeah, we're setting up a website with this to sell the hats, because a ton of people have been wanting them, and a ton of people have been asking about them. So we're going to be making a limited quantity available to the public, and they are going to go fast, but we know that we just want to spread this community, and the least thing we can do is to get people a hat. And next week, so it is the 27th, so on the 3rd we're going to be letting 10 people into Hacks for only $100 a month. It's usually more than $100 a month, but I feel like it's race week. We get a lot of hype around Hacks and stuff, so I just want to do something to let people in, maybe that they wanted to come in for a while, and just kind of select people that I feel like will be good in this community, with only the $100 a month, and then having the prices normal after this week. So if you want to apply to Hacks, hit the link in the description. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.